27 seconds. If you check with other folks around Ohio, you might hear a few seconds more or less. The amount of time you spend in the moon's shadow kind of depends on where you are when the shadow sweeps through Ohio. So here's my favorite diagram of that. This is our prediction of what the moon's shadow is going to look like right at the moment the shadow hits Burton. So if you're towards the center of that shadow, you'll get a few seconds longer in the darkness than folks down at the edge. So in case anybody asks for the fine print, we did the calculations for all of Geauga County. So if anybody ever asks, what's it going to look like from Parkman or from Chester Township, we have all of those. There's not going to be a quiz on this. The short answer is the amount of time difference across the county is less than a minute. If you can get farther to the northwest of the county, it'll last a few seconds longer than if you're down in the southeast. And then if you talk regionally, some other places are making a big deal out of how long totality will last where they are. For example, the city of Avon Lake is really proud of the fact that the eclipse will last about 6 seconds longer there than it will in Geauga County. So, like I said, this is a matter of seconds across Northeast Ohio. But like I said, if you want 6 more seconds of eclipse, go right ahead. The longest the eclipse is going to last anywhere is in Oklahoma. So if you're going to travel for maximum eclipse time, that's the move. And that only doesn't happen because the shadow's a different shape as the moon moves along. So where are we going to see it? Here in Geauga County, it'll be in the southwest over the course of that afternoon, and it's going to be pretty high in the sky, but it's handy that in April the trees still won't have their leaves on it. So if you imagine, here's our nice Geauga County scenery from the horizon to halfway up to straight up overhead. It's going to be more than halfway up the sky. You'll really need to tilt your head back. And so we took a snapshot of where it was at exactly the same date and time that the eclipse is going to happen, but last year on April 8th. This is at the fairgrounds. So I like that the utility poles show you just how high up folks are going. It also showed you, oh, the weather was great for viewing an eclipse last April 8th. So yeah, good stuff. We'll be doing a lot of eclipse outreach programs, especially in January. We're going to a lot of the schools. We'll be going to the senior centers. Every 5th grader in the county is going to get our briefing. I think we're scheduled our programs for at least 5 of the public libraries, and more are signing on. So we have our traveling roadshow, so everybody will know what to expect beforehand. So we're actually kind of busier before the eclipse than the actual day of the eclipse, when we're going to have our free eclipse viewing event at the fairgrounds. And I'm going to turn it over to Holly to talk a little bit more about that. You got it, bud.
All right, so as Chris and I have been talking about this, I was privileged to be a part of the 2017 eclipse when we started seeing, wow, people are really talking about this. And it was 2,000 people, kind of is a lot up there. So that's why we were at the fairgrounds this year. So as Chris and I started really digging in and planning, our goals were very simple. Provide a safe and educational viewing experience for the people of Geauga County. So the safety being one of the primary ones, and the biggest thing with an eclipse safety is your official safety glasses, which we have in here for each of you, so that you can be safe as you view this once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. And what we did learn about eclipse glasses in 2017 is that it is the hot ticket item. So Chris and I have, more Chris, and I've been helping since February, we have been purchasing in advance, knowing that that is the top thing people want, and we have more than 6,000 ready to go. Plus, we're doing an activity where Chris found a source to buy the film, so we'll be doing a kids craft where they can decorate their own pair. So more than 6,000. So the big thing that we, so our crowd estimate, as Chris said, it is completely weather dependent. On a cloudy day, people will follow an eclipse. They'll go where it's going to be clear. But as Chris said, he's shared that 5 out of the last 6 April 8s have been perfect weather in Northeast Ohio. So it's going to happen. It's going to be perfect. And if by chance it's not, it's still going to get dark for 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So it will hopefully be a beautiful day, and we are prepared. So in terms of trying to come up with a quantitative number, we calculated 3 to 4 times for a 2017 partial eclipse. This is exponentially more exciting than a partial eclipse. And so there we know it's going to be bigger. So 3 to 4 times puts us at about 6,000 to 8,000 visitors. That's what we are anticipating. That's what we're kind of preparing for. The libraries are doing viewing events. The schools, some of the schools are doing things. I believe Chardon Square is doing their own event. So that's gonna kind of spread that crowd out a little better than if we were the only one. But we still expect this many because, as Chris said, our neighbors that are just outside of the 100% zone may drive over to see us.
Hook to at the back of the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is where we're gonna stage things. If you're familiar with the fairgrounds, I've been working with them to establish our layout. Merchant Hall number 2 has been not used as regularly, and they're gonna let us use that. If you were at the fair this year, we put up some static displays and banners and such advertising the eclipse. So our indoor activities will be based in here, and the nice thing about this is there's running water and toilets. So there's indoor plumbing and electricity right here in Merchant Hall 2. So that's where all of our activities will be focused. And then our outdoor activities will be in this midway field. So we will have, I think, 10 different viewing opportunity stations, different ways to view the eclipse safely. So you can see we're going to be angling this way. The portable bleachers will be moved so that the inside, the track will be a viewing area. The best viewing spot is in right here. This is the small grandstand, so that's a great viewing spot, but it does have kind of a tall roof. So, you know, but that's another seating area that is just pointing the perfect direction. So, but the big grandstand is pointing the wrong way, so that we can't use that one. We will be renting additional portalettes to put up there. We're inviting food trucks to come. It has to be self-contained food trucks because the water is not attached yet at that point in the year at the fairgrounds. So completely self-contained food vendors. We are working towards sponsorships right now. Oh, so let me go through the activity schedule, kind of touch base on it. We're gonna open the gates at 10:30. Our activities, the indoor craft activities will start at 11 and run till 2 because we don't want people inside doing activities when the pre-eclipse starts. We want to force them outside because that's the big show. And then we'll have some of the outdoor viewing areas and activities will be going on through the length of the eclipse. So there's a list of some of the activities that you'll see. I have a printed copy if you'd like to take that with you. Okay, one more. So then sponsorships, we are working on sponsorships right now. This went out to partners in the community before Thanksgiving, and I'm in conversation now with the Foundation for Geauga Park. So they are looking at the Sun sponsorship, but you know, working with their questions and such to get some sponsorship opportunities. But this went out to several partners in the community, and I'll follow back up with them after the new year to see if there's more interest. So we're optimistic that people will want to put their name associated with this once in a lifetime opportunity. So.
Nice. And then just for a preview of some of the ways that the public's going to be interacting with the eclipse, there's going to be where they're using a contraption involving binoculars to get a safe view of it. And I like this one because this little young man is showing here. It's something that you can share with multiple people at once. We'll have a number of different sun viewing telescopes that we're bringing out for people to get the view from. It's got to be great. Honestly done. And another trick that we're using, this is our ace naturalist Nora Simpler showing you a really simple technique. You just put a tiny mirror and then shine it into a dark building like a large fair barn, and you get an enormous picture of the sun right on the wall that everybody can have their photo taken with and use to watch the eclipse. It's one of those tricks that's so old it's new again. It's a really handy method. Folks are also going to get to just watch and feel how cool it gets. This was during that partial eclipse in 2017, and the temperature of that August afternoon dipped considerably. So we'll have ways people can record how they're feeling at the chill. There are going to be some chickens on site.
Yes, I have. There's documented evidence that chickens, because they see that, and all nighttime animals see that night is coming and start their night behaviors, including chickens will go into roost. So I'm in contact with the 4-H club that really is like, that's so cool, we gotta do that. So we're gonna have some chickens out there, really embracing our Geauga County-ness and having some 4-Hers really involved and seeing if this actually happens, So that'll be one of the activities, check back on the chickens. So.
And like we said, it is very weather dependent, and so we tend to be a gloomy culture here in Ohio. We're like, oh, it's gonna be bad. So 5 of the last 6 years, the weather has been great. That doesn't guarantee the weather will be perfect. This spring, I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll have a pretty good day. Even on a partly cloudy day, an eclipse does a really good job of punching through the clouds. So, and if it is completely rainy, like I said, I imagine folks will go west to Indianapolis or east to Erie, PA to view that eclipse. But,
Where it's also gloomy.
exactly, right? It'll probably be just as,
We're gonna get the weather.
It's gonna be perfect.
like we said, we're prepared in either case. So if you have any other questions for us, we really appreciate your attention.
So I've been holding this cow. So, as you know, there's a giant steer at the fairgrounds, and we got approval to put eclipse glasses on him at the fair. So hopefully you got to see the eclipse glasses on the fair. Those will go back up for the eclipse, and NASA, when we